built the company around the negative part of general contractors. So number one, we always show up on time. I have a rule: if you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're under 10 minutes, you're late. All my subs, all my employees, everybody follows that rule.
You're listening to the Remodeler Digital Playbook, a show created to inspire remodeling contractors to achieve success in their remodeling business. I am your host, Ratna Ramakrishnan. I'm also the founder of Remodeler Digital, the digital marketing agency for remodeling contractors. In each episode, I'll be chatting with remodeling contractors and top experts discussing their proven methods for revenue generation, the insights they've gained, and the keys to remodeling success. And I'll be sharing my knowledge of how I created a 7-figure business using digital marketing. Welcome to the Remodeler Digital Playbook podcast. We're in for a treat today, speaking to Paul Pfifer, GC and principal with Neoteric Builders in Phoenix, Arizona. He is also our client. I'm super excited to share with you his story of why he does what he does, which is remodeling kitchens, bathrooms, and just creating beautiful spaces in Phoenix. Thank you, Paul, for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, you've been doing this for 20 years.
Correct.
What is it that drew you to this business, and why do you continue to do this for a living?
That's a good question. I started out buying houses and flipping them, just doing it myself. And I had friends, well, hey, we really like how you remodeled this kitchen. Would you come help us? So I did that. And after that, you know how the word of mouth starts working. And then I had people just reaching out to me, can you help me? Can you do this? Can you do that? So what we did is we decided to transition from just doing our own stuff and start helping other people and getting contractor's license and helping other people.
So you did not grow up in the trades. It was something that you fell in love with by virtue of investing in real estate and then kind of grew it into a business.
That's correct.
Awesome. When homeowners are considering hiring you, what is one of their top fears?
The fear, which is quite long in what's going on with the general contractors, the number one complaint we get, we don't get it, we've heard, is that, well, you don't show up on time, you don't return the phone calls, you work for 2 or 3 days on my project, and then nobody's on it for a week, and this and that. So what we did to combat that is when we first started the company and started offering to clients instead of just for our own properties, we built the company around the negative part of general contractors. So number one, we always show up on time. I have a rule: if you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're under 10 minutes, you're late. All my subs, all my employees, everybody follows that rule. When communication is big in our company, so we use software to track everything. All conversations with clients are tracked. When we have a conversation with a client, we tell a client we're going to be here at this time, we are there at that time no matter what. If for some reason, you know, in this industry, you get stuck on a job site, with inspectors or issues that you're trying to deal with. So we make sure that, let's just say an example, we told the client we're going to be there at 1 o'clock. It's not 5 minutes till that we call and say, oh, we're going to be late. You pretty much know whether or not you're going to get out on time and be there in time for your meeting. So we're a good hour plus of calling, which very seldom that happens, of letting the client know we're going to be running a little bit late. And we give them a time we're going to be there, and we're there at that time.
Fantastic. And then in terms of project deadlines and completion, do you try to stick to if you commit to 6 weeks, are you able to get it done in 6 weeks? Or if it runs over there's so many moving parts in construction. There's, doors and windows and deliveries. And so how do you manage that so the homeowner knows that the remodeling is going to be done in a specified amount of time that you've...
Very good question. The number one thing is we do not start projects until we have all the material on hand.
Nice.
And that's that. So if it takes 21 days to get windows, we don't start the window job or any job that has to do with the windows or anything else inside the house that we're working on until those windows have arrived. So that combats material's not here yet. So we don't deal with that. When we're doing this long enough that we know how long it's going to take to do this kitchen, or how long it's going to take to do the bathroom, or the full house remodel, or roofing, or windows, or whatever we're doing inside the house or outside of the house. So we're pretty good at setting timelines and sticking to those timelines. I push my teams to beat the timeline, and they get a little bonus. So if it's going to take 3 weeks to do a kitchen and we do it in 2, then, which if you read some reviews, you'll see that.
Yes.
They get a bonus.
Fun.
Yeah, we try our best. You don't know what's inside the wall.
Yep.
So especially if you're tearing out soffits, you don't know if there's plumbing, electricity, you don't know what's running in there. So sometimes you have to restretch the electric, and that takes a little bit of time. So communicating with the client, and at the beginning of the conversation with the client, we'll call it the estimate appointment. That's when you share that information. So if you know you're tearing down soffits or you're tearing down walls, you really don't know what's in there, or how it was built, because unfortunately some contractors don't build the correct way, and you got to fix things. We let the client know right off the bat. If we run into issues, we expect this timeline to be extended to this date, that type of thing.
Perfect. Remodeling is very personal business. You're in people's homes for several weeks, probably learning the names of their children and their dog, and it changes their lives when the remodeling is happening. And so when homeowners are trying to choose a remodeler, they're of course scoping out other competition to be sure that they're doing their due diligence before they choose you. When you are in an estimate appointment or in a conversation with a homeowner, and you know that they are speaking to a couple of other contractors, how do you stand out? How do you stand apart from your competition? Are there certain actions that you take when you're with the homeowner to, kind of quell their concerns that remodeling need not be complex when you hire the right contractor? Do you have certain tactics that you use so they choose you over your competition?
I do. There's a few statements, rules that we have. One is answer the question before it's been asked. Okay. So you should be able to deliver all the information to the client when you're on the estimate appointment without them having to ask. Because a lot of people, they either don't know what to ask because they've never done a remodel, or they're just too shy or nervous to ask questions. So we deliver the answer before. So questions like, change orders. How do change orders work? Well, we don't like change orders. I don't think there's any general contractor that likes change orders, even if you're building in a house, that could delay quite a bit. So we address that right in the beginning, is that, conversation goes just like this. We don't care for change orders just as much as you don't want to hear change orders. So we try to address everything in the very first appointment and give you an accurate quote based on what we expect to see. So that's one of the things that calms the client. The second thing is, if you're not first, you're last. So we use that statement, meaning that if you're not the first one to get the estimate to the client and build that relationship right off the bat, you might as well forget about getting the job.
What is your usual turnaround after you visit a property to get the estimate to the homeowner?
If it's bathrooms, nearly a full house, there's some items, like it takes a little bit longer to get quoting for windows and stuff like that, but 24 hours. So
wow.
If it's a kitchen and we're going to do a full design for the client, then it's 3 days. So we can get the design, get it delivered, get it approved, and get the estimate off to them within 3 days.
Are you using specific software to generate the estimate and make it a seamless process, or do you work out of spreadsheets? What is your...
I use Jobber as the software. It's our CRM, it's our billing, it's estimating, and I like it because part of the estimating portion of the Jobber is you input all the information. So I can make it as detailed as I want, and then click a few buttons and it adds right in there.
And the homeowner has access to Jobber as well. Are they able to come in and log in and see it, or it's a one way where just you send the information over to them?
Good question. No, we send them a link through Jobber, and they click on that link and they can add notes or make changes or whatever they want, which then comes back to us. We just make the changes and resend it.
Very cool. So you are a believer in technology. You like to use...
I am. Technology is very important. AI is very important to us. Yeah, we use technology in just about everything we do.
What is your favorite AI tool? Are you entrenched in ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini?
Yeah.
What are you using?
Well, ChatGPT and Gemini, mainly ChatGPT. we use quite often. It really streamlines processes for us, especially if we're, I want to track a new KPI, and instead of having to create the formulas and create everything, I can simply go to ChatGPT and tell it what we call ours ACE. I can simply go to ACE and tell ACE, this is what I'm looking for, and it creates the form, and it's really easy.
So when you say ACE, you've actually created a custom GPT which knows your brand.
Correct.
And you're talking to it, and it's learning more and more about who Neoteric is, who Paul is, and who you are, and who you serve, and why you're different, and then it just spews out like the correct information.
It does. It follows our website. It knows what our goals are. It knows what our morals are in the company. It knows just about everything we need when it comes to what our brand is and how we want to express our brand to the world. Then it's been very helpful for us.
So are you using it for project timelines and customer communication? Do you have like top 2 to 3 things that you find yourself using it over and over?
We don't use it for customer communications. That I like Jobber for because it's two-way texting. It allows us to contact the client, and the client can reach back out. And instead of tying up our phones or tying up all the employee cell phones, company cell phones, then through Jobber it's very simple. But it does help us with timelines on projects as it reviews the projects we've done before and knows based on what the scope of work is, what the timeline should be to complete the project.
Very cool. If there was a homeowner that had just finished a project with you, what are 2 to 3 things that you hear them often say about their experience of working with you? I've read your fabulous 5-star reviews on Google, but what are 2 to 3 things that just stand out in your head that every client says this about us, and I'm really proud of it?
Number 1 is my team. My teams have been and continue to be just absolutely amazing when dealing with our clients. Not only the craftsmanship, but you're building a relationship. Of course, you want every client to come back to you for other work they want. So we build relationships, and my teams are really great at building relationships with the clients. Oftentimes they're cooked dinner and they're cooked lunch, and they bring in food and drinks and stuff for my teams because they work hard and they communicate well with the client. So number 1 is my teams, definitely my teams. The second thing for what I hear most from the clients is the quality of work. The craftsmanship is just tremendous, and I believe and have always been a believer, if you're going to do something, do it right and get it done the first time correctly. And this is your home, or this is the president's home, or whatever you want to use that you're working for, whether it's a $25,000 job or a $250,000 job. It's the same treatment we give to the clients.
Awesome. Well, let's talk budgets, because budgets are a big piece of remodeling. And today, with all of the tariffs and the stock market and the different things happening in the world, homeowners tend to have anxiety about their dollar. So if somebody were to come to you and say, I have about $35,000 to $40,000 I'd like to invest in a small kitchen remodel or a bathroom remodel, how do you help them allocate the money? If they want custom cabinetry or more expensive tiles from Italy, like those things cost more. So how do you guide the homeowners so they can stick to their budget and still get the beautiful space of their dreams? Is it both a design and build process where you go through it step by step? How do you enable the homeowner to visualize what they can get out of that dollar so they feel happy, you make your margins, and everybody's set and happy?
I've trained and will continue working this way myself, is we do not sell. We're there to help the client and get them what they want in a budget they can afford. So we ask for the budget right up front. Before we really start conversations, I need to know what your budget's going to be. And there's always pushback because the training thought is, I want you to tell me how much it's going to cost, because if I tell you it's going to cost, I have $25,000, you're going to use all 25 when it really costs 20. That's just a fallacy. That's just not correct. At least for us, it's not correct. What we do is, if your budget's $35,000 and you want us to remodel a kitchen, I'm not going to build you the Taj Mahal kitchen and send you an estimate for $50,000 or whatever it's going to be, that's why I need to know your budget. So once you tell me your budget, then from there I can build around, this is what we can do for you. You want to have, a built-in trash can. You want to have, custom cabinets. Well, this is what custom cabinets cost. For $35,000, we can do this small section here for custom cabinets. Or if we use RTA cabinets, ready to assemble cabinets, or shaker cabinets, or something like that. They're still good quality birchwood quality cabinets that we can then do your whole kitchen for the same price. Then we help them pick out pools, and really the salesmen on the job site are doing the design just based on what the customer is wanting. If it is a larger house and a larger budget, then we bring in very well experienced, certified designers that then work closely with the client to get them exactly what they need. And then we take them to several different design houses where they can pick out their material. But for the smaller budgets, $35,000, $50,000, $75,000, the salesmen are able to deliver what the client's wanting at an affordable cost.
Fantastic. Do you have a favorite story of a remodel where either the project was complex or the family story was endearing, where they had a child that they wanted to modify something for, or an aging parent? Or do you have a fun or a favorite remodel story that you could share?
The one that touches me the most is we do a lot of philanthropy for organizations that need help. One of them is Boys Hope Girls Hope. We got a call from Boys Hope Girls Hope. They had a family that was living in this mobile home. They had no kitchen. They were washing the dishes in the bathtub. They had no electricity, as they did bring somebody in, an unlicensed person, to fix the electricity, and they made it worse. Lots of different things on that house. Windows broken, front doors doesn't work, and there's young kids in the house. So they asked us to come in, and that one really touched us the most, because small improvements. It's a small place. We put in a small kitchen, rewired the whole place for them, fixed the bathroom, no smoke alarms. We wired smoke alarms throughout the house for them. We did a lot of different things for that house. So that it's livable, safe and livable for the clients. And, we got nice cards, and each year, Boys Hope Girls Hope it's now called Hope Ignites. They have a big breakfast, and I always attend those breakfasts. And this family's up there talking about what we did for them, and it was just very touching. That's one that stands out the most for me. Now, there are projects where the house looked like it was stuck in the 50s, and we brought it into 2025 and made it absolutely gorgeous and should be in a magazine. Sure, there's things like that, but it's always the ones that have hardly any money and needs it really bad, and we're able to help them. I do a lot of work for Pinell County, a couple of different contracts, but one of the contract is Owner-Occupied Housing Authority, and that's houses that are completely dilapidated. And I mean, we went to this one. They had extension cords connected to the electrical panel, running electric throughout the house. Those are nice because we're able to go in there and repair everything, or tear down and rebuild. And to see the family afterwards that just think, even today I get Christmas cards from these people thanking me for helping them.
Very nice, amazing stories. Have you applied for awards to get your kitchen be featured as the best kitchen in, Scottsdale or your county? Or
No, we haven't. We've been asked some things to do that, but we haven't. I'm just a believer of just do the right thing every time, and I don't need accolades. It would be nice, but I don't need accolades that says you have the best kitchen in the state of Arizona or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Best kitchen design. So if one of the clients wants to fill something out like that, I wouldn't turn it down. But.
Well, the reason I ask is lately I was just running an analysis on ChatGPT to see how it recommends remodelers. And I asked it because it picked 3 remodelers in a geography that I was researching, and I asked it, and I said, why did you list these as top 3? And it said, go back and notice that 2 have awards. And I was like, oh, for AI, that awards are important. And I think for any business, like the amount of work. So I thought that's an interesting play where it'd be nice to be nominated for an award, but you could potentially still apply for an award and get one. Why not, right?
Yeah.
If it's going to help you.
We might look into that next year.
Yeah. Marketing is a big piece of being able to keep going with your business. How do you make decisions on what % of your money to put into marketing? Do you have a strategy of how you arrive at numbers saying, but through donations and nonprofit work that you spoke about, you are going to get, goodwill out of that and referrals out of that. So that is a indirect benefit that comes out of nonprofit work. But do you do flyers? Do you do postcards? We help you with digital marketing, but what are some of the things that you decide are important for Neoteric? How do you arrive at that, and what % of your money do you make a decision to put into marketing? Do you have a strategy?
Well, we have done just about everything you can think of. We've knocked on doors, we've done flyers, we've done postcards, we've done charity events, we've done car washes. We've done all different types of marketing through just about every social media there is. And the fact is, we're not in business unless we have clients. Mm-hmm. And to get clients, you're going to have to invest in marketing. Word of mouth would be fantastic, but that only gets you so far. We can't wait around for our doors to knock and our phones to ring for clients to come, so we go out and get them. We do that by marketing, and marketing is a key process in our business that we must have. And we're probably, for a formula, I think that we've been doing it long enough now, and especially working with you, we know if we put in this amount of money in marketing, it returns this amount of leads. So good thing is you can turn that faucet up and get more, or you can turn it down, or whatever you need to do to generate the leads and get the appointments. And I just can't express enough about marketing and using all kinds of different avenues to generate the leads, because while one might be working, the other ones may not, but you are getting your brand out there. And once your brand is well known, the phones ring and the doors knock, and I think that's just very important. And as for a percentage, I think that if you're in all marketing that you're doing, if you're investing 10% in that, constantly 10%, then I think you'll do well.
So you think no matter what size of a remodeler, we do have a lot of younger remodelers that listen to this podcast. And so if there was a young remodeler dreaming of getting to the 20-year mark like you and being in business for 20 years, and they want to scale from 500,000 million, do you think a 10% formula would work as they slowly scale to hit those growth goals that they have?
Yeah, I think that for a startup or a younger remodeler that's only been in the business for a year or so that's trying to grow their business, I think what I would do is I would pick a job that is a well-profiting job. Let's say you're going to profit $10,000 on that job, and make sure your budget is all other jobs you're working on covers your budget, and take that $10,000 and put it all in marketing. And get that ball rolling so that it generates the leads. So if you can put $1 in and pull out $5, why would you not put $10, $20, $30, $40,000 in there? Now, I understand that budgets are difficult, but if you just take one job and associate that job with only marketing, and that's where all the profits coming from this job is going to marketing.
Nice.
That one job can generate you 5, and then take 2 of those, and those 2 jobs can generate you 10, and so on and so forth, until you're just so busy you have to hire, which is a good thing to have. Yeah.
I love that strategy of taking a project and just allocating it and then seeing what results it gets. If it does well, then put more money, do more of what's working. And have you ever done any digital marketing yourself? Like, have you had a team that just ran your Facebook ads and Google ads in-house? And if you did, how did that play out?
We did. We have tried that. I've done it myself. I've had team members try it. If you're not, this is something you need to do every day. So if you're a marketer, that's what you are. You're a marketer. Not a marketer and admin and project management and this, because it just doesn't work. Outsourcing marketing was one of the best decisions we did. Without having, I mean, the only other than outsourcing marketing, what I do would be I would hire you to come work for me.
Right.
Because that's all you do is marketing,
Yes.
right? So, outside marketing helps also with, accountability. So, unfortunately, there's just some employees that and every company has this, that, don't perform as well as they know they can, or what you're expecting them to perform. And then it's just constant turnover. And, by the time you deal with the learning curve, if you'd had outsourced marketing, you'd had a bunch of leads already.
Yes, right.
And I think that all companies should go to outsourced marketing unless they're quite large, that they can have a full team for marketing in-house. And then at that case, I still think they should be outsourced marketing.
Well, you make a great point. If you just hired me, I couldn't deliver the results that I'm delivering for you right now, because I have a Meta manager, I have a Google Ads manager, I have a local services ads manager, I have 2 automation specialists, I have graphic designers, website builders. So there's just a lot that goes into marketing. So it actually burdens an employee if you just try to hire them and say, you're responsible for marketing, do all that you can, because even though the human brain is fascinating, it's not possible for that one individual to sit there and learn PPC and meta ads and optimize and create the right creatives. And so when did you start investing in marketing, when you started your business, considering you've been doing this for 20 years? Do you always have some?
We're always doing marketing. Like I said, we used to go door to door and knock on doors to get projects. We're always doing marketing, no matter what. When I first started, I did everything. I knocked on doors. I did everything, that has to do with the company to get it to a position where we can start hiring people. Marketing is key to the strength of a business, the survivability of a business. It's marketing. If you don't have leads, you can't get sales. If you don't have sales, you're done.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any old-fashioned methods like door knocking and stuff that you still like and still believe in? Because we have AI and Meta ads and Google ads, but is there anything that you still default to and think that it is a good methodology that you continue to do?
I think postcards are still good, just because you get maybe a 0.01% return, but it's brand marketing.
Yeah.
If I have branding going out from all digital marketing, and branding going out on vehicles, and branding going out in postcards, and lots of branding, and everybody that in my area can know and can see and know, that's Neoteric Builders. I think that's important. So old school, I still like postcards.
So do you do an offer in a postcard, or is it just, hey homeowner, we're here, happy to help you if you have a remodel? What's the strategy that you've been using that's working?
We've tried offers and stuff like that, but it's just more like branding. Offers just don't seem to work. It's just like, hey, we're neighbor, we're Neoteric Builders. These are the things we offer. If there's any of these things that you need in the future, don't hesitate to give us a call. Just very simple stuff. I actually learned that from a real estate agent who has been marketing to my wife and I for 30-something years now. At least quarterly, we would get something from. We've never done any work with them ever, but I know exactly who they are. I know his name. I know his company, and I've never met the guy. And I just thought, wow, that's great branding. To continue moving forward that, and then, this guy's relentless. He's still sending it out.
You've become top of mind by virtue of sitting on that kitchen island or on that desk, that piece of postcard. How do you tap into the upscale market? Because there's a lot of opportunity here in Phoenix. The $35,000 remodels and probably the $250,000 and higher remodels. Do you target the higher remodels? Like, what do you think enables you to get the higher value project?
I think the client is higher caliber. It's just completely different than working with somebody that just wants to remodel a kitchen. And to get into that market, really it's branding and great reviews and just having an opportunity and overperforming on that opportunity, which wealthy people hang around wealthy people, and and my contractor is coming and starting our kitchen job today, and then their buddies are, how's it going with the kitchen job? I mean, I know from this one client, which the house we're going to go look at, from this one client, we've picked up several other high-end clients just because they cannot believe that this person is actually doing a remodel because they've been talking about it for years and never hired anybody. And then they hired us, and we overperformed, and we've gotten referrals from that, from high-end referrals from that. I think your personality, the continuity in your teams, and not only the craftsmanship and the reviews you get, but simple things like they're all wearing the same shirts. They're all wearing the same stuff. They're not showing up in dirty clothes and the paint clothes that they've been wearing for the last 6 months because, I got new clothes, I'm just going to get them painted. Nice clean clothes, and being very clean and organized really helps with high-end. I don't think you can willy-nilly a job in high-end. You really got to be organized and managing the job well. And timelines are extremely important when it comes to that.
What are some of the challenges you face doing business in Phoenix with the desert and the heat? And I know one of the positive things is that you can pretty much remodel year-round. You're not bogged down by snow and rain and bad weather. But are there other challenges that come out of being in this kind of an environment when it comes to remodeling?
Well, the heat is an issue. That's why we don't do landscaping. We don't do anything like that. For doing a project, I don't think it really affects much except for, let's say, if you're having to turn off the electricity in a property and the homeowner still lives there, that becomes difficult. So how about we're going to be out, we're going to have to turn the power off and do some things. We're going to be done, maybe 4 hours, we're going to have it turned off. What I've done is here's some tickets to go see a show, or here's the lunch passes for your favorite restaurant, and to get them out of the house, and so they don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. And another one about high end, which we also use in not high end clients, and that is really the dust control. When you're remodeling, there's dust, and it gets everywhere. Working a clean job site, that's back to the questions about what you hear from your clients is number one, it's the clean job sites as well. Working a clean job site just pays dividends over and over and over. Nobody wants to have to deal with the dust or a dirty home for 4 weeks or whatever time frame of the project. So dust control is important.
Fantastic. If there's a homeowner sitting in their kitchen and saying, this is the year, I'm just done, I'm going to remodel, but I'm not sure if this is the year, how would you convince them saying, move on, move forward, get that space remodeled? What would be some things that you would speak to that homeowner about?
Just hearing that statement is a burden. I hear burden, burden, burden. So take the burden away. Make it easy for them. Make it super simple for them. How about this? It's going to cost you, let's say, for a nice condo, $2,000-$3,000 for a month, and rent it and move your client in there for a month, do their project, and get them back home. So the burden's taken away. And just removing the burden, and that was with this client, the house we're going to see today. It's the same thing. That's why they never, because they don't want to be burdened with it. Even though they only spend 4 or 5 months on this house and the rest of the other houses, they just don't want to be burdened with it. All the decisions they have to make, and and being bothered by teams and stuff like that. So that's where your very well experienced designer comes in and takes the load off of that and handles all the decision making and presents the ideas, but more of this is what I think we should be doing instead of what do you think type conversation. And it gets the burden off, and especially for high-end clients, there's a lot of hand-holding. It's as simple as that. We decided we want to do this or we want to change that, and yeah, that is difficult for a contractor because you have other projects lined up, and you got a timeline on this project, and then we want to make some changes, and those changes are going to set you back 3 or 4 days. That's a burden on the contractor. So you never express that burden. It's whatever you want, we can do.
Right.
Whatever timeline you have, we can work in. So take the burden away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you work with a set of designers? Do you have in-team designers, or do you have a partnership with some established designers that you default to? If somebody needed a lot of design work, how do you enable that?
Partnerships.
Okay.
I think that's for a lot of trades and designers and merchants, your stores where you buy things. Building those partnerships are extremely important, because there's always issues that rise when it comes to remodeling. It's the hardest contracting in the industry. It's easier to build a 5,000 square foot house than it is to remodel a 1,000 square foot home. It's just easier. So building a relationship and partnerships with teams, then that just makes it so much easier for you. So, I have designers that I can call on. Even in an appointment, I have designers that I can call on and say, hey, we decided that we really want a designer. When can you be here? I'm on my way.
Nice.
That's building relationships. Or, your glass guy who actually makes the glass. Oh my gosh, the one that we bought was wrong. I need this. I need it now. How long is it going to take you to get it? I'll have it there in 2 days. And they drop everything and get it done, because you've built partnership. They're going to get your business. You're going to pay them right away. And same for the designers. They know that you're going to continue giving them business, and it's usually really good business, so they'll move quickly for you.
So
Partnerships.
Awesome. So you do use subcontractors, but you have a vetted roster of subcontractors that you work with.
Yeah, any subcontractor, let's say any cabinet guy can show you pictures of cabinets that have installed. Okay, it's a craftsmanship, and you do a good job, and that's that. But what about the client? How well do you manage the client? Because my project managers can't be on the job site every day. I can't handle everything.
Right.
So how well do you manage the client when the client asks you questions, or there was a wrong cabinet ordered? Or whatever. How do you manage that client? And that's important to us when you're vetting subs. Number one is the client management, craftsmanship, of course, but how do you manage your client?
Very cool. Do you have certain habits as a remodeling contractor, because this is fast-paced, busy work? Like personal habits, do you have like a morning routine or things that you like to do to be well, so you can continue doing the work that you enjoy and serving your clients? Are there any tips that you'd be open to sharing?
Staying in the industry, knowledge of the industry is important. I go to the trade shows in Vegas. There's a trade show here, magazines. I look a lot in New York and several different large cities out of London of what they're doing in the modern age of remodels for whatever the model is, kitchen, baths, whole homes, whatever it's going to be. I look at that and see how we can incorporate it. For instance, I just been studying it for a little while now. There is a system out there that you can have a countertop instead of having a range. You have a system that's underneath the range, and it turns the countertop to the range. You throw a pad down and start cooking. How wonderful is that?
And the whole layer is smooth.
All of it, yeah.
I
love it. It's wonderful. So how do we integrate that in our business? How do we do that? So we find that, we start researching, find out a dealer, which there are dealers here that do that, and we work with the client at an affordable cost, meaning I'm not trying to make $1 billion on a new project or a new idea. I want to vet this idea, so I'll reduce my margins down just enough to where we're doing okay and give it a try and see how it works. And if it works well, then we incorporate that in as many jobs as we can.
Even those touchless faucets and things, I'm like so intrigued by this. So cool. And then, of course, toilets is like singing toilets, talking. It's such a whole line.
Yeah, and on the toilet thing and materials, for the people that are just starting or haven't been in the business too long, it's important to shop around. Whether you need it or not, it's important to shop around. Because let's just say Wayfair. So we're Wayfair. I had a client that wants a smart toilet, and he's an older gentleman. He just wants a chair height toilet, and he wants to, a bidet put on top that heats and all that stuff. We all know what the cost of that stuff is. But what if you could deliver something 100 times better at the same cost? So research. Don't just give in to what the client wants. Research and over deliver. So for this client, we happened to be Wayfair, and Wayfair has these flash sales, and we got an unbelievable smart toilet that was $2,200. At my cost was $445.
Wow.
So we over-delivered to the client. Yeah, sure, there's contractors that would try to sell that and make an extra $500 on it and still give the client a discount. Why? I'm over-delivering. That client's going to tell his friends, and then I'm going to get more jobs because of that.
Nice.
So researching material constantly, whether you need it or not, is important.
Great tip. Did you have a mentor or a favorite book or anything growing up that kind of impacted the way you think about customer service and, being ethical and doing the right thing and looking after your customers and your team? Where did all of that come from?
There's a tremendous amount of books out there, material that you can read and learn. My favorite has always been The Winning Attitude. It's a great book. The Winning Attitude is a great book. Basically, it's to break it down in simple terms, it's you choose your attitude. It's simple as that. So especially when I go in and speak to a new client, I just want to be myself. I don't want to sound like I'm a salesman. I don't want to, sound like I got to have this job. I don't want any of that. I'm here to help you, and that's that. These type of books help you deliver that kind of attitude. There's even though it's not the stock market, Warren Buffett, because he's got some great ideas of running businesses and how business should run. I think that as I start my day, I have podcasts and apps that I use, and I start my day with a cup of coffee and learn something as fast as I can in the morning before I start my day, and then figure out how to implement that throughout my day.
Very nice.
I think that's important. Staying on top of the industry is really, you got to be able to deliver new ideas and new stuff, which sets you apart from other contractors. And once you get to the position, I have friends that are general contractors, and we're having to cut our profit margins to get projects and stuff nowadays. And my question is why? Why are you cutting your delivery? Are you still going to deliver the same thing, but you're not going to charge what you're worth to do it just to get a project? How about not? How about you express the importance of how well you are in doing your job, in managing jobs, and managing clients, and relationship building, and this is what I'm worth, and this is what I have to charge.
Cool.
How about delivering that, instead of cutting down to be able to get a project?
When you're not working, what do you like to do for fun?
I love hiking. I'm an outdoorsman, so I like to get out on the quads or, four-wheeling. We enjoy four-wheeling. And
Nice.
My Labradors and my wife, we love going out and being outside, doing things outside, spending time with family. Events, we do a lot of philanthropy where, it doesn't always have to be money that you're donating. It's time is just as important. So we have several nonprofits that we're involved with that we donate our time and help them along. And if we start talking to my wife, we're going to have another podcast because I can go on and on about her. But,
That's so sweet.
she said Warren Buffett has a saying that when he was interviewed years ago, that it's just absolutely 100% in me and my wife is that she loves me in spite of my ways. It's just wonderful. Yeah.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for 14 years. Been
Nice.
together for about 18.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You were already working with the digital marketing agency when we reached out to you. What is it that made you choose us over who you were already working with?
That is a great question, and I anticipated you asking me that question, so I spent some time really researching in my mind of why. And the truth is, we'll back it up to why we don't have in-house. So if I hired an in-house marketer that does social media, and they'll post social media, okay, that's fine. They post social media. But what about the other stuff you deliver? What about all the website and the podcast and all the different things that you deliver? All the marketers that I've used, and I have interviewed and hired probably 20 plus over the years, and that's all they do. We're going to post for you.
No, yeah.
Well, I could hire somebody to post, but I need a partner. I need somebody that can say, hey, we've got this issue going on. How do we handle it? Well, let's do this. Or in my case, I don't want to be burdened. I have other areas where I need to spend my time. I don't want to be burdened. I want to be able to turn over what my idea of marketing is and give it to the marketer, and this is it. We have the website, we have social media, we have all this. I need you to do it all.
Right.
I don't want to have to call and say, hey, was there any post done for a blog? Was any of this stuff done? You know, and it's hiring a marketer. Why we hired you guys is because you do just that. I can just turn it over, and you know, if we don't have a conversation for a month, I'm okay with that. I know it's working.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If there was a contractor trying to make a decision about working with us, what would be one thing that you would say to inspire them to want to do business with us?
If you want freedom, if you want time, you're back from having to spend time in marketing, then this is the reason why you're hiring them. You can, like I said, I've gone through many marketers, and just posting is what they do. They just post. They have an idea and they post. Some marketers, it's 60 days. We post one and see what happens. 60 days later, we'll try it. We'll try something else. Well, that doesn't work, you know. It's constant. What it might be working today, next week it may not be working.
Right.
So we got to continue moving that. So if you want to spend the time to have to manage all that and you know, come up with the ideas and do all this type of stuff, then great, do it yourself. Unfortunately, you know, I don't have time to do all of that stuff. So hiring your company, I can win that time back and win that freedom back and apply it in areas that's actually going to make me money that I'm doing, activities that I do.
Fantastic. Yeah, we believe in what we call an omnipresent strategy, where you are going to be the best known remodeler in the geography that you want business from, the 20 to 25 zip codes that you've given us. We are going to make sure that anybody that's looking for best kitchen remodeler, best bathroom remodeler, best custom builder, you are going to show up. And that is our strategy, where we want our clients to be the best known remodeler, no matter who is searching for, you know, what kind of service in that geo that you want business from. So posting on social media is organic work. It's free work. You will get noticed, you will get followers, but that is not what puts money in the bank and helps you meet your goals. One thing that I love about your brand is the name. How did you come up with it, and what significance does it have to you?
It's a good question, and I get that a lot. Originally it's pronounced Neoteric, but it's hard to get that across when it's spelled Neo.
Yeah.
So we always go with Neoteric. I was doing research, and you know, modern builders, you know, that's boring. It's just a boring name. Modern builders or modern remodelers, or, you know, how do I get that across in a nice, different, unusual way, but something that stands out? So we did research and found that back in Greece, of course, many, many years ago, I think it was like the 14th or 15th century, I can't remember what it was, that there was a group of people that thought outside of the box. They did things that were different. They did artwork that was different. They did, and how they're dealing with communities, they did things different. And they called them the Neoterics.
Okay.
So if you look today, Neoteric translates to modern.
Very cool. Yeah. Love it. If there is a young remodeler beginning a journey into remodeling, what would be one little tip that you would give them?
Leads.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to have leads to get sales, and sales is what drives the company.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Was there something that you wish I had asked you in this conversation? Is there anything else that you would like to share?
No, I think you've done well. One thing I will say is about your teams, and I can't press that enough. Your in-house teams and your outhouse teams, exterior teams. Be picky. Really be picky. Choose those that are going to align themselves with you and your business. What your goals are, what your strengths are, how your morals run your company, and be choosy. Don't just pick an electrician because he's available. Really. Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't pick admin because you know you need somebody and they're here.
Warm body. Yeah,
warm body. Really pick people that's going to align with you and what your vision is.
Very cool. Well, it's been an honor. I've really enjoyed speaking to you. So thank you for your time.
Yes.
We'll get all of this wrapped up and post it on your website. So I can't wait to share this with the world. So Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If you would like to generate more leads through your digital marketing efforts, please visit remodelerdigital.com and check the workshop section for video training and guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads and how to have your website be best friends with the Google algorithm. Also sign up for a 15-minute discovery call with me to run an online snapshot report of your remodeling business. This has been another successful episode of the Remodeler Digital Playbook. Thanks for listening.